Hi, we're Chicks Talking Shift, and we are engaging in another conversation. This time, it's about the important topic of awareness as we're getting through this shift. And Alecia talks about the power of presence, the coping mechanisms that we've been stripped of, and now how we're dealing with it, and also some really valuable tools on how to get through this transformation, first stage of transformation. You know how you're feeling, and we talk about the symptoms of what humans are going through right now. I think you're going to relate to this. And
we also talk about the difficulties of parenting during the pandemic and some of the issues that, parents experience now, and letting some of that baggage go. And we're learning to get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah. So many nuggets that I got out of it. And I hope you do too.
Say why.
It seems like every conversation we have a blooper moment. We are just cracking up, and it's a blast. So we happen to record those moments, and you're welcome to watch and take part in the silliness at the end of this video. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're glad you're here. Welcome back to Chicks Talking Shift. I'm Angel.
And I'm Alecia.
And we are just a couple of chicks having a conversation for the mere purpose of elevating ourselves, because we know when you get into these purposeful, meaningful, deep dialogues, that's what raises the vibe. And so we're hoping through this process, it sparks some inspiration in you. So thanks for tuning in.
Yes. Oh, an Angel.
Yeah. Hey, girl. How are you?
It's so good to see you. And oh my gosh, thank you everybody for all the love that you've sent in our direction for the first one that we put out. And we're so grateful that you joined our Facebook page, Chicks Talking Shift, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are feeling the love, aren't we?
Oh my gosh. So empowering. And to just know that we have all of this loving support in what we're doing and just following our passion. Yeah. And talking about what we love to talk about, which is change, which is shift. They go hand in hand. And today we thought a really great conversation would be around the topic of awareness, because change without awareness doesn't exist. It'll happen, but awareness is key for the healthy process. In fact, it's the first stage of transformation.
Yes.
You know, Alecia, I mean, I write this in my book, Dedicated to Destiny. I go through the 6 stages of transformation. I've lived the 6 stages of transformation, and realize is absolutely the starting point of the journey.
Yes.
And so when we talk about awareness, how would you describe it? And why is it such an important part of the shift?
I think awareness is just an absolute foundational piece of the process, because without presence, it's presence that roots the awareness, right?
Yes.
And so awareness is definitely rooted in presence. And so that's a huge key. And first of all, presence does so many things. It makes us more aware. Presence keeps fear and anxiety at bay. When
Ooh,
you're present, you're not worried about something that's happened in the past. And when you're present, especially right now, it keeps you out of fear when your spirit gets strung out in the future. There's
yeah.
so much that seems so scary and unsure out there. And so it's really easy for us to get our thoughts and our spirit strung out in all these unknown futures that may never manifest. So part of inner peace and coping and being aware is grounding ourselves in presence, because all we have to do is think, how am I in this moment? Do
Yeah.
I have a roof over my head? Do I have food in my belly? Do I have what I need in this moment? And generally that answer is going to be yes. So there's nothing to be afraid of. So it's a really good anti-anxiety tool, which I think is a huge tool to have in your personal tool belt right now.
Oh, no question about it. And I think, okay, that is a great tool to use to get into the present moment. And and I know when I'm in a place of transformation, in that everything is out of whack and out of balance, and when you can just have that appreciation for what you have and there's nothing to be afraid of, getting present when we are feeling that discomfort, that uneasiness, that awkwardness, that imbalance, uh, that is what transformation feels like.
Yes.
And I mean, just acknowledging, just becoming aware that if you're experiencing any of those feelings, rest assured, it's part of the natural process of change. And we are, I shouldn't say collectively, I'd like to think that we are collectively changing and evolving into a better version of ourselves.
Yeah.
But just trust that this process of what we're going through right now is part of bringing you to the next level of life, your
Yeah.
next highest potential, your next better version of yourself. Life is really good on the other side if you allow the process, which starts with that presence. So, just number one, being aware of what you're feeling right now, discord in any way, is what transformation feels like. Go, oh, okay. So next time you feel that way, go, wow, okay, this is what transformation feels like. Must be going through something.
Right.
And trust it,
Yeah.
and trust that process.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, what does transformation feel like for you? And maybe some of your clients. I mean, what when you're talking to people and coaching people, what are some of the things that they're experiencing?
Well, a lot of discomfort, a lot of discomfort. And really, that's kind of been my mantra through this since the whole pandemic started, is it's time to get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of struggle out there with all the unsurety, the loss of jobs, unsure income, parents trying to figure out what's going on from day to day, whether they're sending their kids to school, whether they're not. Just it seems like everything's up in the air, really unsure now. So that's one of the biggest things for me, is learning to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. And that's a common conversation that we have, and so you're the one that taught me about, you it was just how you worded it, and I don't remember exactly how you did it, but I felt it, and I felt something shift in me, of talking about change. When you feel that discomfort, just know change is in the air. And so one of my stabilizers and one of the tools in my tool belt is really going back to exactly what you just said. It's recognizing that even though it's uncomfortable, I trust that whatever's going on is for my highest. And I'm always looking for the gems that come out of the experience. And I'm always looking for the silver linings. So when I'm looking for the shiny objects, it makes the path a little bit easier, and it takes a little bit less of the more of the takes some of the pain out of it and some of the discomfort. And so that's really kind of one of my coping mechanisms during times like this. How
That's
about you?
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, in the I don't know, you caught me off guard with that question a little bit, because even though I, I I've written the I can't really take credit for it, but this has been my experience through transformation and what we go through. I think just understanding the process is what helps me get through it.
Yeah.
Once I know the stages of the transformation process, I can identify where I am, and I know where I'm going. I know where I've been. I know the cycle of what we go through, and it makes sense to me. and and so that puts me at ease. Just understanding transformation, because hey, let's face it, life is change. Life is ever changing. That is what life is. I think that's why we chose to be here and have this human experience, to experience the ever changing elements of life, because that's how we grow and evolve. And knowing what it feels like on a human level, like here's what you might be experiencing, and this is in the book, but you might be feeling a lack of purpose, and what was important is not as important anymore. You're searching for another purpose. You might be feeling that your relationships begin to feel unfulfilling. And the reason for that is because you haven't developed a relationship with yourself, a healthy relationship with yourself. And so your relationships with others, it's really your higher self inviting you to reconnect. And so the human connection, human relationships will start to shift, because now you're really focusing more on yourself. But just know that's part of the growth process. You don't necessarily have to get rid of your spouse or your relationship unless it's toxic, of course, but
Right.
that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
So just know that when these relationships are changing, that could be part of you going through transformation, and just let the process settle in. You might feel disconnected, a sense of not belonging, um, a desire to be alone, or isolating yourself, just not really wanting to talk to anybody right now. Hey, you have every right to be that and be in that place, and for your own good, for sure. But just be aware of tendencies of depression, anxiety, and know that's part of it too, and that you can manage it. It's manageable. Um, but you also have a network of people that you can reach out to as well.
Yeah.
And we're one of those networks for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think in this first stage, Alecia, um, you really start to seek what the meaning of life is. And I think a lot of people right now are asking themselves, wow, look at this world. It's a mess. What what in the world is going on, and what's the point of all this? And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a sense that there's a grieving as well, and longing for the past. Well, we're not going backwards.
Not. It's
And
not the way to go. It really isn't. Things have we've passed a watershed moment, and the only way is forward from my perspective. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it so, but that's where I'm headed, because I don't think our answers are in the past. The past got us to this point, and something needs to change.
Yeah.
So you talk about like the relationships. You might feel a little bit different in some of your relationships.
You're the master at helping people with relationships. I'm
Well,
really interested in hearing what you have to say about that for
well,
sure.
one of the things, I'm not really wired this way, but one of the things, um, some, a couple of my good girlfriends have taught me is that there's some people that are wired in a way that that they have a tendency, as soon as they see whatever isn't right or balanced, or whatever's not working, is they feel absolutely compelled. They think just because they see it, they have to change it, and they have to change it now.
Mm.
That's not my style. That's not my way at all. I don't make it wrong, but what I do is I say, just observe, just be aware that your feelings are changing. Just because they're different right now doesn't mean that's always going to be how they are. And so just create an awareness around, isn't that interesting that this doesn't feel quite the same as it did before? And for most of us, most of our relationships right now aren't feeling the way that they did before, because our routines were upset. Our coping mechanisms were taken away. Before, I was flitting all over the place, traveling here, traveling there, going to dinner with the girls, going to lunch with the girls. And I still do that, on occasion, but I don't do it quite the way I did before. And so, for some, the coping mechanism is getting together with a group of girls, to sit and talk like this, because this is what feeds the chick's souls, right? It is
Yeah.
for me, and I know that it is for most of us. And so, not having quite the outlet that we did before, to sit and have a glass of wine or a couple of drinks, share some appetizers, and just catch up on what's going on in our lives and stuff. Some of that has been running interference with, and it's not quite the same there. And the same with the guys. Some guys, a night or two of the week, maybe they stopped at the local, sports bar, had a beer, watched the game with the guys. These were things that help settle the system and help us cope, right? And so a lot of those coping mechanisms we're running interference with. And so we don't have quite at our fingertips what we used to. And so that amps up the nervous system. And then the mind gets rolling, and the mind's like, oh my gosh, I can't do that anymore. And then you start perseverating on that, and you can't quit looping about what you don't have, instead of just sitting in the fact that it is what it is. And so how can I find my best peace in this moment with the cards that I've been dealt? Because I don't need to keep my nervous system amped up. I'm looking for ways to calm my nervous system.
Yeah. Peace. Home.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Practicing that. That is a practice.
it is a practice.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great point.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
coping mechanisms of that human connection. We're not getting it. We haven't had it in months. No wonder why stress is at an all-time high, and depression and suicides, and that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
And I think what's important to also be aware of is that this is a healing process. The transformation, the change, the shift, it's part of a healing process. So it could be the 6 stages of healing. I mean, it's the same, it
Yeah.
means the same thing.
Right.
So I think just being gentle with the process, understand what's been ripped out from under us, like those coping mechanisms that you're talking about, because you're right. That's huge.
Well,
And
and
then,
be gentle with yourself.
yeah, for
Be
sure.
gentle with yourself. This is a time like no other. we've not been through this before. So we need to cut ourselves some slack, especially I think about moms all the time. And it's not that dads aren't having a problem, dads are having issues too, but typically moms are the hub of the family, right? Well, a lot of moms work, a lot of moms, take care of the house, take care of the kids, and there's been so much shifting through this pandemic that you now have moms that either working from home or lost their jobs. You've got moms that are not only working from home, but also trying to homeschool their children, something that they didn't have to do before, which I'll tell you what, my daughter's 26. But what I saw happening in the school system was horrifying to me because I would sit down with her. I'm a smart chick. And I would sit down with her to help her with her homework. And they'd be doing some silly way of helping her add things called touch points. And then there were things about show your work. Well, I didn't learn touch points and I didn't learn these other show your work things. So I would know how to do the math, but I couldn't help her with the math because I didn't know how to help her show her work. And so I think about all the moms that might have 2 or 3 kids at home that they're having to do. Maybe only one computer, limited internet, all of these things. And on top of that, they want to keep their children healthy. They want to keep their family safe, and they're having to cope with all of this stuff. So moms have so much on them right now. Cut yourself some slack, girls. Cut yourself some slack and cut away some of the things that aren't serving you. Check your heart. That's part of awareness, right? Feel what's happening in your body right now. What are you feeling? What's going through your mind? What feelings are you have? Pay attention to those. Your feelings are barometers telling you what direction you need to go. And so that's part of the awareness. And so we don't have to do all those things we were doing before. Find ways for the family to share some of the responsibilities. Find ways to cut away some of the rules that you've made for yourself as far as what you have to do. You get to make the rules of what you have to do. So do what you need to do to be able to practice some extreme self-care and make life the way that you need to do it so that you can be calm and you can be the best you and the best mom and the best wife and the best family member and friend that you can possibly be.
Well, you're right. And it is about
Do you hear the lawnmower?
yours.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Maybe it'll go away.
I don't hear it.
Good. It might get closer. All right, good. So we'll keep going and hopefully
Okay.
it won't get any louder.
Um,
Now I've stepped on your thought. I'm so sorry.
oh,
Be gentle with your
boundaries.
boundaries. Yeah.
It is about boundaries. And
Yes.
that is a show within itself. There's another conversation.
Oh,
And that's huge
yeah.
because you're the master at that. And I've learned so much when it comes to setting boundaries.
Yes.
But I believe that all of the virtual world that corporate America has gotten into, and these moms now working at home and having to do everything virtually, all these virtual meetings, it has really impacted the company's culture. And that also is transforming. And to be aware that these companies and organizations are going through their process of transformation, and they're in the realized stage going, holy crap, our employees are dealing with so much right now. How is this going to impact our productivity? I mean, they're having to regroup. Leadership is starting to regroup. There's transformation happening on so many levels right now. And so just know that by you setting boundaries, and you're also helping your company understand how to shift their culture.
Yeah.
So it's really important that take that advice was great advice.
Yeah.
cut yourself some slack because it's really important for your mental health, your emotional well-being, and your spirit.
Yes.
So, wow, yeah, yeah, and it's purposeful. I think that's the thing that helps me get through it. Is just knowing that it's purposeful, and even when it's shocking and it comes as a surprise.
Mm.
And you've heard me say, truth is absurd when first heard.
Yes, I love that.
It is. And once it settles down, that's part of the realized stage. That's what happens in this stage of awareness is you're looking at truth from a different angle. You're putting on different lenses. Um, so shine the light on whatever it is, become aware.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and allow it. Because awareness, you talk about presence. Presence is a hard thing to practice.
Mm.
It's almost like you have to practice allowing. And once you've mastered allowing, then you could embrace awareness and presence.
Yeah.
Because it's an allowance of allowing it to be. I don't know. You can't force it when you think about awareness
Yeah.
and and really tapping into it. I look at these revelations that come through when you're in that state of awareness as messages from my higher self.
Mm.
And that creates an awakening, within yourself.
Right.
And that's what's happening
Yeah.
to a lot of people, within a lot of people. You look at humanity across the globe. I believe that is what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, awakening, that you're absolutely right about that. I that's one of the things that happens from humans getting uncomfortable, is that a lot of times there's discomfort, there's pain, there's chaos, and like we talked before, those are the conditions that squeeze our higher self to the surface,
Yeah.
because we have to drop some of the sandbags, some of the weight from the hot air balloon so we can rise, right? And so it just shows us where certain things in our life aren't comfortable. So we start to understand what we need to release so we can make room for what's coming. And see, I guess part of it for me, I'm an optimist. And so when things are really difficult, that's the ray of sunshine. I always hold on to the ray of sunshine of the gems that are coming and the growth that's coming. And so they kind of make the they shine through the dark clouds of the storms, and help me know that I need to just keep going forward and presence myself day after day after day. And eventually this too shall pass.
I love that. I love that. Looking forward. And so I think we should leave with maybe that call to action. And that is to realize or visualize the greatest possible outcome
Mm.
that can occur through what you're going through. And in this realized stage, it's really envisioning and becoming aware of the the greatest outcome and keeping that alive, because only a fool trips on what's behind him. We can't look
Oh,
backwards. You've got to look forward and keep that vision alive.
I love that. Yes. Head up, eyes forward, don't look back.
So this has been just awesome conversation. Awesome. What are your closing thoughts, and what do you want to leave with anybody who's tuning in, or me for that matter?
Or me, what do I need to know? That's what I need. Oh gosh. I think one of the most important things is, and it's what started the conversations, you are not alone. We're all going through something right now. And so that's why we're having these conversations, so that you know that you've got somebody else that's going through it. It might be it is a different version than what you're going through, but it doesn't matter. Difficulty is difficulty, regardless of what we call it. So we hope you'll hang with us. We hope that you feel like there's something about us that maybe lifts your spirit and stabilizes your soul and anchors you in a way that allows you to move forward in a way with a little bit more grace and ease and a smile on your face and in your heart, right?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great to see you. Always is.
Yeah.
Love you much, girl.
You as well.
And thank you for joining us in another conversation. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Check us out on our Facebook page,
Yeah.
Chicks Talking Shift.
Chicks Talking Shift.
And, hit the bell. Do what you got to do. But we so love that you're here, and that just makes my soul sing.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time, peace out, everybody.
Peace out. See you online. All right. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay.
And your sound keys are on?
Yeah. Loud. Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything plugged into your computer? Another screen or? There you go. Jeez, that was crazy.
No, there was dust on my keyboard, so I blew on it. I thought, well, maybe that would help.
Your head's off.
Here's the microphone that I wanted to show you.
Oh that's pretty big. Oh my God. I had no idea.
It's
You're such a lucky girl.
We allow the divine light to come through us, speak through us. We are your vessels. We're your voice. We're here to do the work, and we're open to your guidance. And we ask that you speak through us at all times.
We heard you. Yes, we got it loud and clear. Thank you.
Oh, wow. My heart chakra is tingling.
Is it?
It is. Thank you. That was definitely a cool acknowledgement.
Yes, that was very cool.
That was freaking awesome, man. Thank you.
Very awesome. Yes, I received that.
For sure. All right. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is. Thank God.
So it is.
Hello, my friend.
Hello. Good to see you. I still look forward
to 3D. It was like, oh, you look different. We're out of 3D in the 5D. Like,
yeah.
Oh, hello. I really didn't see you before. Now I see you.
I see you. Absolutely. 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 Gosh, my nose itches today. Oh, God. I hope I don't rub it off. Hope it's dry. I hope my nose doesn't start running. Catch it. gosh, now my ear itches.
What's
I'm
with
gonna
you?
get itchier and itchier while it's in here.
Oh, look, the
Oh,
love of
goodness.
life is hitting you perfectly.
All right, let's get started then.
What are you? I know you must be itching to say something.
I'm listening. What am I supposed to say? My ear has been itching. All right, tell me. It is equal, but that doesn't mean that we're both the same. It just
Right.
means that there's some places that we overlap, and then there's other places that we're like spackle for each other, that we kind of fill in those.
Oh my God.
What?
Did you say spackle?
I did. Is that the magic word of the day? Ding, 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 ding. What was it on Pee-wee Herman's Playhouse? Wasn't there a word of the day? Did I get it? Did I get it? What did I win?
You
Why
won.
did you say that way? Oh my gosh.
What did you win? Well, you won this beautiful friendship rock.
Oh, yay! Thank you. I never win anything.
You get the friendship award today
Yay.
for coming up with the word of the day. What are the odds?
I use spackle a lot in my conversations with people that I'm coaching.
Oh, I love that.
Because there's people, especially codependent people, that come in to fill in those holes in other people's lives, and they serve as spackle. Now, if it's codependent, that's not balanced and it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's other people, like I talk about my dad. My dad's like spackle for me. If I have some missing places, he'll fill them in so it smooths my road. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I use spackle
like
lot,
that too. Aren't we so lucky to have dads like that?
We are so lucky to have dads like that. Yeah.
Love you, Dad.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chicks Talking Shift. I'm Angel Carlton.
Oh. I'm Alecia Rice. What are you giggling about now? What was that about?
That was good. I know. Are we saying our last names or not?
Well, we didn't put our last names in our stuff. I want to be like Cher and Madonna. I just want to go by one name. I've always just wanted to go by one name. All right, there you go.
All right. Always thinking.
Yes, you are. I love that about you. I even love when you're not thinking. We have some of our best times when you're not thinking.
I know. You think too much.
Yes.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
It's okay. My nose is running. That was a good place to stop. Oh my God, my nose is going to drip. Good. That was a good place to stop. Okay, go ahead. Pick up where you were.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. We're here. Oh, fuck.
Take 5.
Is that it? Feels like 20.
Maybe it has been. I don't know. I don't count very well. Well, heck. Well, it's gone. It'll circle back.
Yeah.
Well, it was there and then it went away again.
No.
What is, I talk about it all the time.
Spackle? No.
Spackle. Where's my spackle when I need it? Oh. Go ahead. Anyway, go ahead.
I think the first thing that I think this is bad.
It's very bad.
We're going to spend 25 days just editing this thing.
There's going to be huge chunks that we're going to take out, so it's not going to be
Yeah.
that big of a deal. Oh,
Yeah.
presents.